newcomers have arrived from Central and South America, Africa, and parts of Asia. They've come from countries torn apart by war, poverty, and natural disasters. So I've got my topic sentence right in the middle. The wave of immigrants to the United States in the last 10 to 15 years has been a big part of the soccer boom. I've got examples above it and examples below it. That gives this paragraph a nice sense of balance. So now what I would like you to do is to pause the program and find the topic sentence in this paragraph. Then come back. The topic sentence is the first sentence. The rules of soccer are simple. That's my topic sentence. 2 teams of 11 players each try to get the ball into the other team's goal. You can kick the ball or use your head to move it. No one except the goalkeeper is allowed to touch the ball with hands or arms. So what I've got in this entire paragraph are the rules of soccer. They try to get the ball into each other's goals. They can kick the ball. They can use their head. No one but the goalkeeper can touch it. Rule, 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 rule all directly relates to that first sentence. The rules of soccer are simple. That's how I know that it's my topic sentence. So now what I would like you to do is to pause the program and find the topic sentence in this paragraph. Then come back. The topic sentence here is the last sentence. Of course, soccer requires athletic excellence and physical stamina from its players. They have to run quickly, control the ball skillfully, kick forcefully, and pass precisely. It also requires sharp thinking and powerful teamwork. Individual players and their coaches must plan carefully and communicate effectively to succeed. These are some of the many reasons why soccer is such a great sport, popular all over the world. So what I've done in this paragraph is I've discussed some of the reasons why soccer is such a great sport. First of all, it requires athletic excellence. It requires physical stamina. Players have to run quickly. They have to control the ball skillfully. They have to kick forcefully. They have to pass precisely. In addition, other reasons include the fact that they have to be sharp thinkers, they have to play well together as a team, and then individuals and coaches have to plan carefully and to communicate. So I've given a great many specific reasons why soccer is such a great sport, which explains why it is popular all over the world. Now, these guidelines for paragraph form and length apply to expository, persuasive, and descriptive writing. As you've learned in previous programs, expository writing is writing that explains. Persuasive writing is writing that argues a point, and descriptive writing uses the 5 senses. These guidelines rarely apply to narratives. Narratives are stories. That's because narrative paragraphs usually don't have topic sentences. You don't want to explain your main idea. In a narrative, you'd rather lead up to it to create suspense. Furthermore, narratives use dialogue. Every time you change speakers in a narrative, you indent 5 spaces. Therefore, in a short story, maybe a short story of 350 words, you could have 10 different paragraphs because you've got different speakers. So use these guidelines when you write descriptive, expository, and persuasive essays. Now, let's take a look at the nuts and bolts of writing powerful paragraphs. The topic sentence in a paragraph has 2 main purposes. The first purpose is to state the topic, to give the main idea. The second purpose is to grab the reader's attention so the reader wants to go on. Therefore, the topic sentence is the most important sentence in your entire paragraph because it shapes the entire paragraph by defining its contents, and it establishes the paragraph's organization. Topic sentences can take many different forms. You're going to choose the form that suits your purpose and your audience. Here are some of the most common forms. It can be a restatement of the question, a statement of the main idea, an anecdote, which is a brief story. It can be humorous. You can use a quotation as your topic sentence. You can ask a question, or you can give facts, such as statistics. I explain each method in detail and give examples in Program 7, Introductions and Conclusions. Remember that a paragraph covers a single aspect of a larger topic. And when you're forming your topic sentences for your paragraphs, think about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You don't want it too big, you don't want it too small, you want it just right. Here's an example of one that is just too broad for a single paragraph. Good people sometimes do bad things. Well, that wouldn't be an effective topic sentence for a paragraph because you could develop that into an entire paragraph, entire essay, maybe an entire book, maybe even a series of books, because you could discuss different people, the bad things they do, the reasons why they do bad things. Instead of that one, you would want to narrow it down and cover only one small aspect. Now here's an example of one that's too small. My cat is striped. Where can you go with that? Maybe you could put in one sentence or two sentences, but it's just too narrow a topic for your paragraph. Perhaps you could change that to describing your cat's appearance. You might say, my cat is very, very pretty. I have an unusually attractive Persian cat. Then you could discuss the fur, the stripes, the ears, the tail. That would give you enough for an entire paragraph. Here are two that are just right. Email has largely replaced snail mail for personal correspondence. Well, in this case, you could discuss maybe one or two examples of how email has replaced maybe invitations. Now you send evites rather than conventional invitations, or perhaps now rather than sending letters to your pen pal overseas, you send email to your pen pal. Both invitations and letters are forms of personal correspondence. Here's another one. It is rude to talk on a cell phone in a movie theater. Well, here you might describe how you are disturbing other patrons because they can hear your voice over the movie. And you might give one or two examples, perhaps when you've been at the movies and one of the patrons has done this and it's bothered you very much because you've been unable to hear the movie. So you don't want your topic sentences so broad that they're sufficient for an entire essay or even a book. You don't want them so narrow that you can't get more than one or two sentences. Like Goldilocks, you want them just right. Now let's look at those supporting sentences, the meat of your paragraph. Supporting sentences make your point, explain your ideas, describe your subject, and tell your story. Supporting sentences therefore contain details, examples, opinions, quotations from reliable sources, statistics, anecdotes, any proof that you can give that'll make your point vivid and clear, and if you're writing a persuasive essay, persuasive. Without sufficient support, your paragraph is empty. It says nothing. It's like receiving a beautifully wrapped gift that's empty inside. It leaves your readers feeling dissatisfied. Very often, the difference between an A or outstanding paragraph and a C or an average paragraph is the quality of the detail that you use. The better your detail, the better your support, the better your writing will be. So now what I would like you to do is to pause the program and find the details in this paragraph. Then come back. Here's my answer. They're sometimes called frankenfoods, but some genetically modified foods have the potential to improve the lives of millions. That's my topic sentence. Insects often destroy crops, resulting in devastating financial losses and starvation in developing countries. My details and examples include insects, destroying crops, devastating financial losses, starvation, and developing countries. Notice how specific developing countries is. I don't just say countries. Pesticides are an effective way to kill these pests, but they damage the ecosystem and human health. Pesticides is specific, and then I give two examples. I say they damage the ecosystem and human health. Scientists have created Bt corn genetically modified to resist insects. Bt corn is a specific example. Then I define it by saying it's genetically modified to resist insects. That's a specific example. Since Bt corn does not require pesticides, farmers can grow more corn more cheaply and safely, which helps prevent starvation. Cheaply and safely are specific examples, as is helping to prevent starvation. So, despite fears to the contrary, genetically modified foods like Bt corn can be very beneficial. I have specific examples in there, as in genetically modified foods like Bt corn, but also notice how my conclusion sums up everything that I said in my paragraph. So now what I would like you to do is to pause the program and identify the type of details that appear in this paragraph about world population. Then come back. These details are statistics because they're numbers. Take a look at some of the numbers we have here. We have in 1800, we have population was 1 billion. Now it is over 6.5 billion. Skipping down to the bottom, we have scientists predict that in the year 2100, the population will be 11 billion. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 very good numbers here. This shows me that the majority of the facts in this paragraph are statistics. So now what I would like you to do is to pause the program and identify the types of details in this paragraph about human flight. Then come back. The details are examples because they give specific illustrations. In the 15th century, the Italian artist Leonardo da Vinci sketched many fanciful designs of flying machines. Specific example. Movies such as The Rocketeer, Spy Kids, and Minority Report. Specific examples. A rocket man even flew into the opening ceremony of the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. Another specific example. So I'm taking my generalities. People have always dreamed of flying, for example, and I'm backing them up with specific examples. So now what I would like you to do is to pause the program and identify the type of details in this paragraph about DNA fingerprinting. Then come back. The details are quotations from a reliable source. You can tell because you can see the quotation marks that show the speaker's direct words. The entire bottom part of this paragraph is the speaker's direct words. This famous scientist said, "I was on my own in the darkroom at 9:05 on September 10th, 1984, when that pattern came up and I twigged what we had stumbled upon. Just that single bit of X-ray film threw open a door we didn't even know was there. It opened the whole science of forensic DNA." So now what I would like you to do is to pause the program and use the topic sentence, concluding sentence, and details to write a paragraph. You may have to do a little bit of research.